This is my after work tea at the Palette Cafe. And although it is a bright and beautiful day out there, I'm having this inside where it's air conditioned because it's hot out. They gave me a bit of honey. Yeah. Oh yeah. Always need honey for your tea. Absolutely. Yeah. So, once upon a time, Japan attacked Canada, declared war on us, attacked Canadian troops in Hong Kong, and then brutally abused those troops who survived as prisoners, absolutely brutally abused them. And yet today, we do not force Japanese immigrants to hide the fact that they are Japanese. And when Japanese people operate restaurants, we don't force them to redesignate their traditional Japanese sushi and sashimi as Baptist Pentecostal fish rolls. We don't do this to the Japanese. We just don't. Yeah. Despite the fact that they attacked us, declared war on us, and abused our people who were prisoners of war in their captivity. Think about that for a moment. Just think about that for a moment. A few generations ago, Germany started a war which killed millions of people. And yet today, we do not require German immigrants in Canada to call themselves Franco-Polish. We do not require them to call themselves Swiss. And we allow them to celebrate Oktoberfest. And yet, there is a country that has never attacked us, has never waged war upon us, has never committed a significant atrocity. And yet, we do not allow that country's citizens, this country's people, to immigrate to this country. We do not allow them to open up traditional ethnic restaurants of their culture. We do not allow them to celebrate any aspect of who they are, and we require them to change their identity completely and pretend that they are not themselves, that they are somebody else. I want you to think about that. We treat people who have been our enemies like friends. I mean, we allow Americans to come into Canada as tourists, and they invaded us 3 times with the intent of conquering us. And yet this other country that has never invaded Canada, their people, as soon as they are discovered to be from this country, are rounded up and deported with no mercy. They are not allowed a voice. They are not allowed basic human dignity. And they've never invaded us. They've never tried to conquer us. They've never claimed us as their territory. All they've done is try to open up a restaurant, try to open up a tailor shop, try to open up a laundry service. That's all they've tried to do, just open up a small business. And we won't let them do it. We won't let them do it. But we let Americans in all the time. Hell yeah, we let them buy property here. And they've invaded us 3 times with the intent to conquer us and to impose their way of life upon us. And yet this other country, we don't let them have even the smallest of rights in this country. Funny how that works. Yes. It's almost as though there was an enormous double standard out there. Yeah. Oh. No other people are subjected to the standards that we impose upon this one people. They have to be perfect paragons. They have to forgive every insult, no matter how severe. They have to smile through every humiliation. And they have to prove that they've never once, ever thought about resisting oppression and injustice. They have to demonstrate conclusively that they are perfect paragons of virtue. And they're not allowed to practice the religion which is the majority religion of their country. We only do this to one country, only one people. A people that we have felt it acceptable to abuse since the 1980s, when Brian Mulroney made Canada an American-backed puppet. Yeah. We are now yet another country with an El Presidente controlled and backed by the CIA. And who is the country that we are abusing? Well, we're not allowed to mention them by name because that's bad. But we're allowed to rape their women, we're allowed to kill their children, we're allowed to bomb their cities into smoldering rubble. We are allowed to abuse them in every conceivable way and demonize them with propaganda. We're not allowed to mention them by name. We're not allowed to afford them even the most basic of dignity. We're certainly not allowed to afford them the most basic of rights. Well, funny how that works. Funny indeed.